Yo, this sounds really familiar, similar to my favorite TV show, which is 6 Feet Under. It's about this family that runs a funeral home and how they're dealing with running the funeral home after their dad dies, right? Tell me this is not at least similar to this. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm enjoying this book so much, because I love 6 Feet Under. Good evening. Checking in. Chapter 11. I was really hesitant to hop on the Hazelwood bandwagon. I've learned through my experience on Book Talk and Book Twitter that Book Talk is not always reliable when it comes to this stuff. I am pleasantly surprised and satisfied, because not only the first chapter, I was like, I'm really enjoying it. I got 100 pages in the first day I read it, and that was in one whole day. And if you know me, I never get that far in a book when I first start it. Usually I get about 20 pages in and then I have to take a break. I think sometimes you just have to not listen to anyone. Well, I mean, obviously if you want recommendations, you're obviously gonna get that from someone somewhere, but don't listen to them. I mean, listen to them, but at the same time, you're not gonna know until you give it a shot. Spoiler. I just got past the part where Elsie has a run-in with one of her past clients. He ends up being the man who wanted to pay her $70 for schmecks, And he's like, "Oh, you're that's not Elsie Hanaway. You're not a physicist. You're a hooker." And Jack, he's just like, I know it's the bare minimum, but as someone who's not had the bare minimum in my entire life, this is amazing. I love it. I'm eating it up. He's like, "Yo, man, back the fuck up. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but she's a very smart woman. Give her some space. I'm not gonna let you disrespect her like that standing here. You say a word about this to anyone, including your mother, I will make life very, very difficult for you." I think it's about 2 days later. I kind of slept all day yesterday. My bad. I'm now 90% through with this book, right? Now, I don't know if you would consider this a third act breakup or whatever, but I'm not happy, Bob. I'm really not. Elsie is overhearing Jack talking to Andrea, and she's drunk, and she's like, "You despise these people. You remember that article you wrote? Elsie's mentor, Dr. L?" I always felt this the entire time I was reading this. I was like, this mentor-mentee relationship that Elsie has with Dr. L, it feels very weird, very manipulative, and I don't want to use the word grooming lightly, but it feels like that to me. Jack wrote the article because of Dr. L and his involvement with his own mother. Elsie, she's pissed, and I mean, to each their own. I don't know if my morals are just kind of out the window or whatever, but I'm just I mean, if I found that out about Jack, I'd be like, "Oh my god, I am so sorry," and "Oh my god, I'm being manipulated. I am being groomed." I'm sitting here thinking, is this a third act breakup? Because I feel so defeated when I go through a third act breakup. I really don't want to pick up the book. I'm scared for what's to come, and there's not even that much left. I haven't ate a book up like this since fucking Daydream, maybe? I'm still not done with Daydream because I'm buddy reading right now. Also, can I just say how I fucking love Jack? He might be one of my top book boyfriends because I was literally crying about this an hour ago. He's a nice, kind, sweet, generous man. This is the bare minimum. I know. Someone who's never had the bare minimum. He actually takes into account Elsie's diabetes. He'll "Oh, here's some almonds, I brought some," and she goes to thank the guests that they're staying with, and they're like, "Oh, thanks for having some handy dandy almonds in your place." Oh, we don't keep almonds in our house. We don't keep any nuts in our house, actually. She has to go change her little insulin pod, and he's just like, "Oh, I want to watch, how do you do it?" She's just like, "I can do it by myself." Thanks for asking. I know you can do it by yourself, but I want to watch. I want to know how these things work. So let me see how you change your pot. This man is so fucking in love with her. Romance is so back. I don't know when this book was published, but oh my god. Romance has been back ever since this book hit the shelves. The Adam and Olive cameo? So cute. I'm obsessed with this book. I never thought I would ever catch myself saying that about an Allie Hazelwood book, but I am fucking obsessed. I'm also going through a flare up right now. So I just finished, but theoretically, she's right there. Thoughts and opinions. I'm going to give it 5 stars. It like wrapped up way too fast. I loved the last chapter, very rom-com-y, like confession, you know? And Jack writing a whole article to apologize to the, what are they called? Theoretical physicists or whatever. Beautiful. And not only did he do it to apologize to them, he did it to get the girl back. I love this book. I may not have understood what they were talking about half of the time, but I loved it. I don't think I'm any smarter than I was like before I read it. Now I'm eager to pick up another one of her books because it was immaculate. What can I say? I think this book has potential to like get someone out of their reading slump. Probably gonna be like one of my top reads from this year. I don't think I can read Bride though because doesn't it like werewolves in it? Nodding. I might read a novel love story by Ashley Poston next. I started her. I only got to the second chapter. That's just because I was feeling really tired, but that's like 12 pages, so I mean, I think I'm doing okay. I've noticed a thing with Ashley Poston books where there's like a narrator in the Dr. Seuss movies, like, oh, once upon a time in Whoville. That's what her books are giving me, the beginning and the ends, because I noticed in the Dead Romantics too that there was also something like that. As for another book, I don't know if I want to read it all the way. Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I'm waiting because I borrowed it on Libby for the Kindle, but I'm also waiting for the audiobook version to come through because apparently that's even better. I don't know. And I don't know what to think about it. Like, I don't know if I like it or I do not like it. It honestly is really funny. So his chapter, Josh's, opens up with like his roommate's just like, you will not believe Allie. Oh my god. She texts me after 2 months and she's like, can we like act this out next time we meet? And then he sees his TikTok and he's just like, that's me. I'll give it to like about 20-30%. I don't know. Maybe the audiobook is better. If the audiobook is anything like Leather and Lark, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's my reading update for today. I'm reading too many books right now. One's a buddy read, another one's a buddy read, but she's kind of behind, so I'm just kind of sitting here like, I guess I'm gonna go read more of this before dinner gets here. Okay. Goodbye. Good morning. I think it's like 11. I made a very bad, very conscious decision last night. Me and my friend, we read Little Stranger by Leigh Rivers. I wish I could say I had nightmares last night because of it, but I didn't. It has to be like the worst dark romance I've ever read. I had felt drawn to the book because of the audiobook, and it was all over TikTok, and I'm like, this guy is hilarious. I want to read it. Spoilers, we should have stopped at the trigger warning list, all the triggers, but the one that stood out to me the most was foster sibling shit. I need to talk about it because what the fuck did I read? What the fuck did I listen to? I don't think the female or male character, male lead, can go a page without stating the fact that yes, they are foster brother and sister. Probably every other sentence.
Oh, little sister, my little sister.
And then she's like, oh my god, you are my brother. Big brother. I should have known then. The last chapter of her part of the book, and I just wish I could erase that scene from my memory now because I feel like I was like, okay, this is kind of insane. Doing it on the staircase and the papa comes home. Malachi just does not let up. He said no guillotine will take away the head I am about to give her. Just fucking kept going. Malachi and their dad get into a little tussle. Their dad is bleeding out, hanging on for dear life, some would say. Malachi is just like, you know what? Go big or go home. Over their dying dad's body. When that happened, I really wanted to DNF. I will not lie. Not a fun time. But I stuck it out because of Malachi's part of the book. I mean, his part of the book was really good. But God, the fucking the spider part, I can't. My biggest phobia is bugs. Anything bug, reptile related, you know? This was my worst nightmare. I cried. You wanna know what I did after we read that book? I went to my Goodreads. I went to my fucking Bookmori. I went to my fucking Storygraph. I went to Fable and I gave her 1.75 stars. And it was all because of the narrators. I'm sorry if you enjoyed this book. If that had been my first dark romance, I probably would have never ever picked up a dark romance book ever again. Now today I'm going to focus on my fluffy, lighthearted little rom-com storybook. Signing off.
Is advised as this book contains sexually explicit discussion and scenes, including anal play, discussion of blood and gore in a hospital setting, discussion of mental health, limited description of a mass shooting, stalking, car accident description, death of a parent, and description of a violent death.
There's also mention of domestic abuse, invasion of privacy, home invasion, hidden cameras, hacking, theft, unintentional cannibalism, and desecration of a body.
Finally, Lights Out contains breath play, knife play, gun play, fear play, kidnap play, primal play, mask play, and consensual dubious consent.
I think that covers everything. If you are sticking around, hope you are ready to play.
Wait, his voice
They
is
must be.
nice.
Especially since this book is dedicated to those brave enough to ride the handle.
Oh god. We're just gonna ignore my face right now. I just took a shower. I just wanted to go ahead and end this video because it is November 30th. I said I was gonna finish at least 2 more books. I only finished 1. That was Daydream. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you in my next one.